What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have they do what at 14? Um, in the Netherlands, my biggest culture shock. I'm excited to dive right in. Absolutely love his videos and excited to see what the biggest culture shock coming out of the Netherlands for him is. Before we dive in, if you guys haven't to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button for your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
So my first time traveling out of the country alone was back in 2009, and I was 24 years old. So you can imagine how shocked I was to hear from a barista yesterday that her first time traveling, she was 14 and she flew to Portugal by herself. 14? And now, man, I'm not even gonna lie. When this girl told me she was 14 when she first left by herself, leaving the Netherlands, and went and like flew to Portugal.
That's crazy.
Man, my like heart like dropped.
I bet.
Mainly because I have two kids. I have two boys. One that was born here in Harlem, and the other one was born in LA. And not for oh, what's that sun? That sun is beaming. Holy cow, let's move this out the way. And yeah, man, not for nothing. I could not imagine letting them get on a plane by themselves at 14 and flying over to like Portugal. Not even France. I'm sorry, I just can't even see it. I don't even know if I could let them fly at 16. I mean, come on, by themselves? 16? Like, wow. But yeah, apparently this is a normal thing here. It's normal for kids to go traveling in their teenage years. It's normal. And I'm not so much at the age of 14 because look, I checked around, especially after like talking to the girl. I talked to some other friends and some other baristas, and they're like, nah, I mean, I went out when I was first 15, and average, usually people go out when they're like 16. They can fly, they'll take the train, they'll go with a group of friends, or they'll go with some classmates and literally just take the train, go to a different country, or take the plane, go to a different country, and it's not a big deal. But it is funny because our kids are just growing up. Me and my wife were literally just talking about how they'll be probably going outside by themselves pretty soon, and also maybe even hanging out in Amsterdam by themselves, taking a train from Harlem to Amsterdam just to hang out. This is a normal thing here, like literally.
That's just bonkers, like, because as a new dad, like, I can't imagine at that age, like 14, flying to another country alone. At first, I was gonna be like, well, that just 14, she traveled to another country, but I was staying with her family, and I was like, well, in Europe, you know what I'm saying? Much easier to travel to a different country. But he said she flew to Portugal alone at 14. Like, yeah, that would never happen in the U.S. where a child will fly to another country by themselves. Well, it might happen. I don't know. But it's just, it's not usual. And it's not usual to let your kids go out and play alone. Used to be. When I was a kid, I was all over town. But nowadays, your kids don't play where you can't keep an eye on them. And that's how it is over here. And that's a sad reality. That's sad that it's a culture shock to let your kids go out and play by themselves. That's like, how far have we dropped?
In the last video, on the way home, right? I was leaving Amsterdam, coming to Harlem, and no joke, I saw a girl with a huge, like, travel backpack, but she had to look at least like 15 or 16. I mean, she was so little, and this backpack, like this travel backpack, was like bigger than her. It was like half the size of me. And yeah, she was just traveling by herself. It seemed like she was coming home because her parents actually met her at the Harlem station, and then they just walked and went home. And I was like, holy cow, that's gonna be my kids. But that is such a trip for me. I just could not imagine it. I have never traveled by myself. Like, I just couldn't imagine it. But I told the barista today about this, and she assured, again, she said it's a normal thing. And she said, basically, it was self Standaard.
Standig.
Standig.
Ja, zelfstandig.
Side note, man, it is a gorgeous day out today. Holy cow, man, it is hot in the sun, but like great in the shade. That's why you see me hugging the block in the shade. Wow, is it gorgeous. And it seems like everybody took the day off too. Holy cow, it's a lot of people out. There's people over there chilling on the benches. There's people right next to me chilling over there on the benches. Some people in the grass picnicking. It is just, wow, completely different from when I filmed the last video. You know, I think one of the reasons it's so unimaginable for me to like even think about these things is because in the States, it's just seen it's so scary and like so dangerously like seen in the States to go out on your own, especially as a teenager. Go out and travel, like hop on a plane by yourself, 14. And we're talking like going out and traveling with a group of friends without your parents and getting a hotel or Airbnb and just doing you for like a week. Like that's just, to me, when I think about my kids and when I think about the way that I grew up, it is seen such as like a dangerous thing to do. I mean, we're told at a young age how dangerous it is to travel, how dangerous other places are, especially from our parents, and our parents get it from the news that they're watching. And everything just seems so unsafe. I mean, especially for me when I was younger. It just seemed like this wasn't something that people did. And you know what? I know there probably are exceptions, but a good point that I'm about to make of how you don't see this in and it's not a normal thing in America is literally the fact that when you see tourists, look how old some of the tourists are, especially American ones. Look how old a lot of these people are. They're either in their late 20s or they're in their 50s and 60s. And I know some people in the comments gonna probably be like, well, you know, going to another state is almost like going to another country, which is true. It is, just in the sense of like, the size of the US is like massive, right? So yeah, I could see that argument being made. I can actually understand it until you take into consideration that no one even goes outside because they feel like it's too dangerous. And I'm being dead serious too. Think about it. I mean, if people feel like it's already too dangerous to go outside in their own neighborhoods, you think that they'll actually let their kid get on a plane and fly from like Atlanta to Texas? Or even like Atlanta to like Florida? Like, cause that's kind of the equivalent. Atlanta to Florida is basically like the Netherlands to Portugal, right? I don't know anybody who would let their kids travel by train from like LA to San Diego. That is fairly close. And look, I'm just keeping it 1,000, man. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm just being real. So it's like, am I tripping? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and this girl was 14. You're telling me that American parents will be down. Oh, is that a horse behind me? What is a horse?
Look at that horse.
Okay, Sky Money Focus getting lost in the sauce. It hits different over here in Europe. They are just like kids going to Portugal, kids going to France, kids going to Belgium.
That's weird.
Blows my mind. Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, and also consider too, these kids are traveling to different countries and they don't even have their license. Most people here don't even get their license until they're adults. Blows my mind. Before they could even drive, they're flying to different countries and just having all these amazing experiences. Like, wow.
Sorry, I see my son moving on the monitor. I was making sure he wasn't crying.
It blows my mind.
That is absolutely freaking insane. Like, to travel like a week, Airbnb by yourself. It's such it literally is mind blowing to me. It's boggling because traveling to another state geographic wise, because it's might be the same traveling wise as moving to another country in Europe because how massive the US is. But I think that you definitely don't get that big culture change when you travel to another country in Europe. Like, you experience all these different cultures, and you definitely not getting to travel alone. Definitely not. Parents are not having that. Like he said, bro, you barely gonna let your kids go to another city without you, but go to another country? Nah. But there's no way that's happening. And I feel like that's more understandable coming from the US, because now you gotta go to go to another Mexico, or I guess you go to Mexico or Canada, but parents aren't allowing that. Just different parenting. And I think that's because the US is more dangerous than the Netherlands. So the parenting is more strict and when it comes to freedom of movement for these kids. But I'd love to hear what y'all think in the comment section.
City in an airplane. I can see everything below.
Okay, we're gonna have a quick Skyppuccino break. In this place, I have actually never been to this place. I've been wanting to come. I walked by here a few times, been wanting to come, but never did. Back on the topic at hand, though, I do have to say that I'm sure not every teen is like traveling. I'm not saying that all teens travel. And like I mentioned earlier, I do think that this is just a thing that's really hard for Americans to wrap their head around, because all the Americans that I talked to about this, they all said the same thing. Like, they just can't imagine letting their kids go traveling at like 14 to 16 or even 17.
Not by
They
themselves.
cannot imagine it, but they know it's a common thing here. And you know what's crazy is that when I actually think about it, I feel like if I don't let my sons travel at a certain age now, like it's almost like I'm holding them back almost. And this is something that my wife and I have talked about. I mean,
I just feel like, especially when where you're at, like it's the cultural norm. I think it's holding them back in the sense of letting them explore and experience. But like I said, in the U.S., yeah, we hate with them. It's too dangerous out here. You feel me? We can't. We live in a country that's not as safe as the Netherlands. And so, but I think if everybody else at that age is doing it, and you don't stop your child from doing it, you kind of are holding them back, because it's like all his peers are able to do it, if he's the only one unable.
we're both like scared of like just letting them go play outside by themselves, because that's time coming up, right? But we gotta let them do it. We gotta let them go. We got to. And just like when they get to that age of traveling, we're gonna have to let them go. And it just makes me think about like how much, just imagine how differently things would be if we lived in the States, where they wouldn't even have this opportunity, because we'd be so afraid to let them go outside by themselves or just travel alone. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's not normal over there. The biggest reason, like I said before, is safety. They don't feel like it's safe. Anything could happen to their kids and all this other stuff. It's just not safe. And the media is also telling us just how unsafe it is. Oh. No, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I can flip out, okay? And now, quick side note, we did get our cappuccino. I'm about to make it a Skyppuccino, but look at this cup that it came in. Pimpin', this place is balls. Getting a lot of looks though. All right, now we gotta go ahead and whip this up to a Skyppuccino. And oh snap, look at this. We didn't get a cookie. Oh, Pam, we got candy. Go ahead and get down there, candy. Go ahead.
Get down there, kid.
Here we go. What's up, by yourself?
Oh, by myself?
Yeah.
Oh, 15.
15? Where'd you go?
Belgium.
15. Wow. The Belgium. Like by themselves, like they're responsible enough to be by themselves in another country. Yeah. It's so bonkers as an American, bro. Like it's so like I can't fathom it. I cannot fathom it.
Okay, just finished our Skyppuccino, and I gotta say, first of all, that Hazel place is freaking amazing. Second of all, she takes the cake out of everybody that I've met who have traveled when they were young. She, the owner, says she was 12 years old when she first traveled. The barista who served the coffee also says she was 15 when she first traveled. Her first place was Belgium. But wow, 12? Like, that's what I'm saying. 12? Man.
That's crazy.
Now, to be fair though, she said she was so scared. But also, she's glad she did it, and yeah, she made it. But wow, 12?
Well, yeah, no way.
Quick side note, this bike right here, this Honda CBR 600 Double R, I had this bike, but it was a 1000, and it was a 2005, I think. Man, I miss riding. Look at that thing. Man.
That Joker is beautiful. That is absolute. And I'm not even like a motorcycle bike guy, bro. That's gorgeous.
Woo, that thing is sweet. Also, too, me and my wife used to actually take trips up to Malibu. We would go through PCH, ride all the way up to Malibu, and then we would go through Topanga Canyon and ride all the way down to Sunset Boulevard and then go back to Hollywood. Now, if you can't tell, I definitely miss riding motorcycles. Oh shoot, you know what? I completely forgot that this weekend is the Jazz Festival in Harlem. That's why they got all these seats out, and that's why everybody hugging the block when they should be at work. Look, I say that jokingly, but low-key it does feel like everybody took the day off. Everybody took the day off and came to Harlem. And now, if I'm being real too, though, this is not Americans' fault. Again, I think it's just the media and propaganda. That's what I think. Honest to God, I think it's really media and propaganda. Because, I mean, just the whole situation of just not going outside.
It absolutely 100% is. Because, like I said, I'm 30. But in my childhood, like, me and all my friends and peers, like, we were allowed to just, like, not even just in our neighborhood, like, I was going across town on my bike, like, to hang out with my friends, and as long as you made it home before the street lights came on, you were good. Like, you were allowed that, and that freedom isn't allowed anymore because, yeah, as parents, we are scared. Like, the media and the propaganda, yes. When you see so many children getting abducted, you see so many children being killed, wrong place, wrong time. You see all these things, and I'm sure it doesn't happen. Well, it does happen enough to where you don't want to send your kid, but like I'm sure it's not like every time a kid goes outside, him or her is getting kidnapped, right? But you don't even want to risk that one chance that it's your child, because some child can get kidnapped, and you don't want to risk that it's your child. So you kind of keep them in this bubble, and I'm not saying that's a good thing because that does stunt their growth, right, from being able to mature and develop in the world. But it's a very difficult situation when that's all you see in the media. You want to protect your kid. Like, it's scary to even send your kid to school. Like, I think when I never thought about like sending my child to school until I had him, and yeah, like it's scary to even do that much. So
Such a huge problem, and everyone's answer is always the same. It's too dangerous to be outside. It's too dangerous to be hugging the block. Ain't nobody saying go out and do like anything like crazy or nothing like that. I mean, we're just saying go hang out outside, and people think it's dangerous, and it is not Americans' fault. It's not. So I get it. I mean, I get it. I'm still trying to shake this whole like letting my kid go to France or something when he's like 16. Like, wow. Side note, I do gotta say, look, I am not letting my kids travel at 14. Even some of the baristas who traveled at 16 and 15 thinks 14 is a bit too young. But though, people do it. Look, I'm not saying that everywhere is safe. I'm not saying that Europe doesn't have it.
To me, I would think 16 will be the optimal age, and that's in Europe. But I've never been in Europe. I'd say in America, yeah, you go until you're 18 and you're grown. To travel alone, I can travel with you, but to travel alone, nah, 18. But I feel like Europe standards, I feel like 16 might be the optimal age. I feel like as a young adult, you're mature enough to, or as a teenager, not even. As a teenager, you're mature enough to, at 16, not get yourself into something you can't get out of. But then again, you might be more immature at 16 than you were at 14. This depends on who you hang with.
Problems or anything like that. I am not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the level of confidence, independence, and just overall need for exploration and learning and broadening your perspective is so high here. Like, it is on a whole nother level. And you know what though? I think I'm starting to see how. I think it's because of the way that the kids are brought up here. People here do travel. Like me and my family, we have we've taken the kids to so many different countries, as well as what's really cool is when you see families literally just biking and camping. And I mean, like, they're carrying backpacks while they're biking to like different locations and then setting up campsites. They're not in RVs or anything like that. Not saying that people don't do it, but I have seen every summer people will bike from like certain parts of Germany to the Netherlands, from Netherlands to Belgium. Like, it is crazy. And they'll be doing it all with their kids. I mean, I can honestly say that by the time our kids are old enough, they'll probably be good because we've taken them to so many places. They've been on trains, they've been on planes, they've been to Belgium, they've been to France, Switzerland, Ireland. Like, they've gone to a lot of places, so they will, by the time they get older, they'll probably know how to like handle themselves. But don't get it twisted, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I don't know if I can let them go. Like my barista friend back at the cafe said, it is zelfstandig. And I guess, well, as an American living here in the Netherlands, something I'm gonna have to get used to. So, man, it is a bit scary though. And now, while I contemplate what age I should let my kids travel at, go ahead and check this video out right over here. YouTube thinks that you might like it, so go ahead and check it out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Always love his channel. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to him. But I think he's absolutely right. Yeah, it's just, for an American, it's just an unimaginable thing. And there may be some that do send their kids, but very rarely. Very rare. Not many at all. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I'd love to hear y'all thoughts in the comment section. Do you feel like when you got to travel, first, how old were you when you first got to travel? Do you feel like traveling at a younger age like helped you develop more, helped you gain a bigger understanding, experience different cultures at that age? I just love to hear, like, in your words, how you feel like it benefited you. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.